Our in-depth coverage of this breaking news continues now. In addition to the information about the additional remains discovered, the Department of Health also released several of its reports on the Pennine Funeral Home.
Tonight, we're digging through them to see what they reveal. Eyewitness News reporter Madeline Wright joins us now with the details live in the newsroom.
Eyewitness News obtained these documents showing that the Pennine Funeral Home had several inspection violations over an 8-year period. But nowhere in these reports was there any indication of the unrefrigerated bodies that were found at the funeral home last month.
The Rhode Island Department of Health released 11 establishment inspection reports about Pennine Funeral Home from 2004 to 2012. For the most part, the funeral home passed. In 2004, the inspector noted the funeral home was clean, that its licenses were in good standing, and that everything was in order. A year later, things changed. In 2005, the inspector noted there was clutter in the prep room used for the embalming of human remains. Although the next year, the inspector noted the prep room was clean and sanitary. In 2009, there were 4 questions the inspector didn't answer about Pennine Funeral Home. Whether the preparation room was up to standards, whether the home was in compliance with laws governing medical waste, whether the prep room was clean and sanitary, and if other areas of the funeral establishment were clean and sanitary. A year later, the inspector did answer those questions. The answer was yes. In 2011, a red flag. The inspector noted there was no written verification that the funeral home and funeral director's licenses were renewed and in good standing. A year later, the inspector indicated those problems had been resolved. All the reports say that all the human remains the funeral home had for more than 48 hours were either refrigerated or embalmed.
And I asked the health department why the funeral home apparently kept passing inspection for 8 years, even though some of the bodies that were found there were more than 10 years old. And the health department says it's unclear that the bodies had been there for that long and that police are working to figure it out. In the newsroom, Madeline Wright, Eyewitness News.